Welcome to Movie Life Crisis. Join us as we watch the best movies from 30 years ago.
Tell me you got a short version of the trailer this time, for the love of God.
All right, shut up. I got the 30-second
From Walt Disney Pictures, he's a hotshot attorney who's never lost. Yes. Forced to coach a hockey team that's never won.
Keep swinging. Maybe he'll give him a cold.
He'll try to teach them how to win.
You think losing is funny?
Well, not at first, but once you get the hang of it.
And they'll teach him
Get off the roof, you little monkey!
that winning isn't everything.
Let's have fun out there.
Walt Disney Pictures presents Emilio Estevez,
Are we ducks or what?
The Mighty Ducks. Rated PG, parental guidance suggested.
Ooh, they actually said parental guidance suggested. They don't say that anymore. I like that.
Movie Life Crisis Season 2, Episode 24, The Mighty Ducks, presented to you by the Walt Disney Corporation and presenting Emilio Estevez.
Estevez.
Yeah, that's how he says it. That's how I'm saying it.
Yeah, no, that's the right way to say it, apparently. Because that's how his dad says it, too, when he talks about it.
Yeah, we went through this when we did Cadence last season with Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Martin Sheen says his name as Ramon Estevez, so that's how I'm saying it. I'm going to put the right emphasis on the right syllable. In any case, Episode 24, Jeff, say your line.
What's my line?
Dude, every f***ing episode you go, I can't believe we've done, and then whatever the number is, then you say that number.
Say it again. Set me up.
Okay,
Set me up
Let's
again.
go
I'm
one
ready.
more time. Movie Life Crisis, Season 2, Episode 24, Jeff.
No, I can't do it because, oh my gosh, 24. I can't believe it's 20.
From Episode 2.
I can't believe it's 24.
Movie Life Crisis.
Dude, aren't you shocked that we made it 24
Yes.
episodes? Get the hell out of here, man.
Ridiculous. Why? Why did we talk about so many movies? Why did people listen? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm glad though. All right.
When we look at the list of movies for the year, if we see a movie that we had on VHS as a kid that we watched a whole bunch of times, we're probably going to do that movie. Probably going to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I reached out to an acquaintance or an internet friend, somewhere in that range, somewhere between real life friend and total stranger, who I know likes movies and is a huge nerd, and said, do you want to come do a movie with us? And I sent him the list, and he said, Mighty Ducks, I want to do Mighty Ducks. And so
That's awesome.
we have with us as a guest Steve Kamb, the best-selling author and head nerd over at nerdfitness.com, a really cool website that I've been reading for probably almost a decade.
Yeah.
I'm not to gatekeep or anything, but it's rare that Jeff and I bring on someone who outclasses us both in nerdiness and in fitness. If you could see the video that I have of Steve's chiseled jawline and Jeff and I talking about how much Taco Bell we've eaten in the last week, you would understand.
It's not that much just because it has its own box and its own bag when they hand it to me through the window.
In any case, Steve, welcome.
Hi, gentlemen. Thank you so much for having me. I have to say, I've already learned. So I went back and I've been listening to a lot of past podcasts. And thanks to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode, I had no idea Pee Wee Herman was in that movie. I've seen it, I don't know, a handful of times. And I had literally I was listening to the episode and then you mentioned Pee Wee. And I was like, wait a second, who was the funny guy that kept dying over and over again at the end? And I had no idea. 30 years later, I'm finally learning this. So I've learned a lot from you guys already. Thank you for having me.
That's awesome. Because I said the same thing. I was like, God, that guy looks just like Pee Wee Herman. Wait a second. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, over and over.
All right, Jeff. Mighty Ducks, give us a synopsis.
Quick synopsis. An aging, down on his luck ex-minor leaguer coaches a team of misfits in an ultra-competitive California Little League. Oh, wait, no, that's Bad News Bears.
Okay,
My
that
fault.
makes sense.
Wrong. Sorry, my fault. My fault completely. To climb the corporate ladder to success, a guy agrees to coach the company's all-girls soccer team with that's Ladybugs. That's my fault. Wait, hang on. A self-centered Minnesota lawyer is sentenced to community service coaching a ragtag youth hockey team. That's the one. Mighty Ducks.
That's the winner right there. You had the, on the kids sports movie bingo card, you had Bad News Bears before I did, because I figured it was like at the 8-minute mark, and I think you hit it quite a bit sooner than that.
I wanted to mention that as soon as I could, because while Bad News Bears is a way better movie, it's the same premise, isn't it?
Yeah, I wrote Bad News Bears on my
close.
notes like 6 times.
Wait, the old one with Mathau or the new one with Billy Bong Thornton?
I for real didn't know there was a new one, so the old one for sure.
It's really good too. It's pretty funny.
All right, put that on my to-do list for Movie Life Crisis 2050.
It's way down the line.
You can pencil me in. I think I'm available.
You're going to have to take it. Jeff and I are not going to live. You heard our Taco Bell
I'm
orders.
not going to be here.
We'll will this podcast to you.
I did, yeah. We'll talk about that later.
All right, this movie, $14 million budget, made $51 million in theaters, but also made $54 million in home video rentals just in 1992.
Yeah, that's the money right there. When they made all their money.
Totally the money. Because I was like, oh, 51 million, that's pretty good for 14, but it's not like I thought this movie was bigger than that. And then I saw the home video gross. I was like, oh, this thing crushed video, and that's why they made a jillion of them.
Killed it.
Did you find any awards?
AFI, the American Film Institute, they had a bunch of different like sets of lists, and the AFI's top 10.
It's an honor just to be nominated.
Right. The top 10 best sports films, it was nominated, but of course it didn't make it. And 100 Years and 100 Cheers, it was nominated for that in 2006, but also didn't win. So no other awards.
All right, I'm deleting that. I don't care about that. Sequel spinoffs, take it away, Jeff.
Yeah, they had Mighty Ducks in 92, D2 Mighty Ducks in 94, D3 The Mighty Ducks in 96. There's a TV show, a live action one that's on Disney Plus right now. That's why my kids know about Mighty Ducks. And then they had an animation that was super weird. It was actually like humanoid ducks that their whole universe was entirely perfectly suited for hockey. It was called Puck World, and they like flew in spaceships.
So it's like the Space Jam version of Mighty Ducks.
If Space Jam was a really crappy cartoon on Disney Channel with ducks, then yes, it's exactly like that. The cool thing about the sequels and spinoffs in Europe, in parts of Africa and Australia and places like that, it wasn't called Mighty Ducks. It was called Champions.
Nice.
So if you bought it in there, it's called Champions. So like maybe they were trying to capitalize.
Spoiler
on
alert.
We Are the Champions that they play at the end. Yeah, exactly. So they say, yeah, we're going to call it Champions because the song at the end, We Are the Champions. We're going to try to do that. Then D2 comes out. And in all of those same parts of Europe and Africa and Australia, they called D2 just the Mighty Ducks. So now the Mighty Ducks everywhere but here is the second movie. And then when D3 comes out, they called it D3, the Mighty Ducks. So everybody in Europe was like, what happened to D2? What the hell? What is this? Nobody has any idea what's going on. It's because of how they named it. So if we're talking about this and we have people listening all over the world, which I know we actually do.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about Champions / the Mighty Ducks from 1992.
Do not watch the wrong one. You're going to be very lost. It will make no sense.
Exactly.
The continuity will not work. It's just not going to work.
You'll be stuck in D2 and not even know.
I do want to shout out this movie as being the first movie we've done in 2 seasons of this podcast that actually spun off a pro sports franchise. That's pretty impressive. You don't get a lot of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there another
a pro sports franchise that came from a movie? I don't think so.
And they're just called the Anaheim Ducks.
The Anaheim
right?
Ducks.
They're just ducks. They're not mighty anymore.
They're not the Mighty. No, I think they originally were Mighty, and then like pro athletes were like, I'm not wearing Mighty Ducks on my jersey. I make $7 million a year.
It's weird you say Space Jam because in that part, do you remember when they're on the golf course and they're Michael Jordan hits a hole in one?
Yeah.
And Daffy Duck's like, yeah, we can come up with our own basketball team. What can we name them? And he goes, well, I say the Ducks. And Bugs says, what kind of Mickey Mouse organization names their team the Ducks?
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. That was a little jab at the.
That's why the original Space Jam is way better than the LeBron James Space Jam reboot.
I didn't think that was up for any interpretation. That's definitely the case.
Yeah.
Don't ask my kid though.
I've talked to your kid. I'm not asking your kid anything. Not until he's at least 16.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't even know the NBA without LeBron. He's been there 20 years.
All right. Steve, do you remember the first time you saw this movie?
I don't, but so I was 8, I think. So I'm guessing, and I had an older brother. We played street hockey in our front, in literally the street in front of our house. It was like, literally yell cars. So you have to pick up the goals and move them as the cars would drive through.
Game on.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was a lot of my my childhood. So I have to imagine, like, I don't remember seeing it in theaters, but I do remember the VHS tape in my house.
Nice.
and watching a lot of it. What I didn't realize is like how much I had combined Mighty Ducks 1 and
Champions.
Mighty Ducks 2. And like I was waiting for characters from Mighty Ducks 2 to show up and realizing I was like, oh, that's just a completely different movie. But I just put them together.
Yeah.
I'm the same way, man. I think I must have like Sister Act earlier this year. I really liked Sister Act 2, and I didn't remember Sister Act, the original, all that. And it was the same with this. It's like, oh, that's another movie. Yeah, but what happened to no, that's also later.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I had the VHS of this. We didn't. We lived in a subdivision in Louisiana, so like we had like a nice smooth concrete driveway, but then the actual road at the end of the driveway was not roller skatable, so we could have only really tiny games of. Like my parents brought me rollerblades for Christmas one year when the rollerblade craze was happening, and I think I skated to the mailbox and back like 6 times. I was like, all right, this is stupid. I can't get anywhere with these things.
Can't go anywhere. Just friggin' ice skating.
They didn't tell me that I could have skated through the mall with my hockey team, or I would have probably had a lot more fun on the rollerblades.
Definitely could have done that. Do you remember playing like floor hockey in grammar school?
Yeah, but we didn't have skates. You just ran.
Right. Yeah.
That was my jam right there.
I know, but that was as close as I got to hockey.
Yeah.
Because there was no, like, I've been ice skating like 6 times in my whole life. That's not a thing we do down here. And even if you do, I don't do it. So
You remember the first time you saw this, Jeff?
I don't. To me, this feels like a movie I saw at Holy Ghost, like at school during grammar school. It
Like
was
the
an off
last
day.
week when no one does any teaching.
Right. Let's put in a movie. What about the Mighty Ducks? This is the new one. And let's go upstairs in the library where they have that big console TV that's
Let's wheel
made
in
of
the
wood
cart,
with a
the AV cart.
It's got a fake drawer at the bottom with a keyhole, but there's nothing there, and we can all sit in that dark windowless room at the top of the library and watch Mighty Ducks. I think that's where I saw. I don't remember
That dark windowless room at Jeff and I went to the same grade school is where we used to watch video after like 7th grade football games. Why were we watching film of football games when we were 13? It was all horrible. But the coach would rewind it. It's like, let's look.
Wait. This was on a TV, or y'all watched it on a projector?
It was on the TV. It was on a VHS tape that
How
probably
did you
someone's
even
dad
see it?
videotaped with the freaking handheld shoulder cam.
Oh my God.
And he'd be like, I think you missed a block on this trap plane. I was like, oh my God. Who cares?
I like that room. That's where I saw Schindler's List for the first time, and it made me feel weird, and I didn't like it.
All right, let's do some ratings, Jeff. How many chimmy dogs you got? 1 through 10, no 7s.
I should really go last because it seems like y'all like this movie and I'm going to shit on it. I gave it 5 chimmies.
Okay.
Because it was okay. I don't know any of the rules of hockey. None of them looked like they were playing real hockey. It looked like they were breaking all the rules. I don't know anything about hockey.
So your rating is just strictly based on the quality of the hockey being played on screen by the 10-year-olds.
Well, no. But I remember liking this as a young kid also. And I am no longer that young kid.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know hockey. So, in addition to not laughing at any of the jokes for kids, I didn't. We'll talk about it when we get to the worst, but I gave it 5.
Whatever, cake eater. I gave it a 6. I don't. This one didn't get the Buffy. Didn't get the Buffy nostalgia bump for me. It just wasn't quite. I went back and looked at my ratings from earlier this season because we're far enough in that I want to like make sure that it's consistent. And so we don't do 7s. We don't do 7.5s. It's definitely not an 8. I had School Ties as a 6.5. I had Sister Act as a 6.5. I think both of those are slightly better than this. So I bumped it back to a 6. I got it ahead of Lethal Weapon. I got it ahead of Under Siege. I got it behind Sister Act and behind School Ties.
Wait, where does it fall compared to Captain Ron?
It's quite a bit ahead of Captain Ron. By
yeah,
a
you
wide
think
margin.
you gave it a 1.5, man.
Dude, if you think I'm going to change my mind on that, I'm not gonna. I feel great about that.
Dude, you've quoted it more times in this
That's just because I like how cranky you get about that. Captain Ron is the hill you want to die on.
Dude, I don't. It sounded like you were angry about it because I gave my rating first, and you were like,
I was super angry about Captain
"This
Ron.
is
I don't know why I
stupid."
fucking watched
1.5.
If I had to do it
All
over
right.
again, we would still do Captain Ron because it's given us so much joy since we watched it. But as a motion picture experience, it's brutal.
Stand clear of the ladder, boss.
Roger Ebert and the audiences of 1992 agreed with me. Steve, you got a rating for this? You want to get in?
Yeah. I mean, as much as I loved this movie as a kid, and even going back, I'm like, part of this actually kind of holds up. I'm going to give it a loving 6.5. So like 6.5. What was it? Chimichangas? Chili dogs?
Chimmy dogs. Yeah.
You want to tell Steve about chimmy dogs?
Sure. My friend, who is a child, would come to this Mexican restaurant called Cuco's, where he doesn't like to try anything new at all. And he really liked these things that were tiny little pieces of hot dog wrapped in flour tortilla and deep fried. They called them chimmy dogs, but they were only on the kids menu. So every time he would go, I'd like the chimmy dogs. And they're like, you're too old. You have to be under 9. And he's like, give me 2 orders and charge me an entree price. Call your manager. I don't care. Every time. So we started talking about that in the first time. So now it's chimmy dogs.
Because that restaurant was right next to the movie theater in the mall in the town we grew up.
Right.
And that man's name who ordered the chimmy dogs is, well, I forget. But the important thing is
that. He drove that blue car. Yeah, I like chimmy dogs because I have to explain that every time somebody new listens to the podcast. It's fantastic.
all right. We're actually all in the same ballpark. We got a 5, a 6, and a 6.5. So that's cool. Let's go on and talk about the first thing, best scenes. I'll kick it up. My first scene is the first game. I don't know anything about hockey, so I don't know if they were doing it right or not, but I like some of the game scenes.
Wait. Their first game as a team as the Ducks?
Yeah. No. Their first game as a team when they're just District 5 and they're wearing like Olds hoodies with
right.
D5 written on there with like magic marker, and they've got newspaper duct taped to their legs.
You can't do that. They make them wear like freaking cage masks since like the 80s.
Friend, I don't think you remember the 90s. You could do whatever the fuck you wanted back then.
No, not during that. No. I thought you were talking about the game at the very beginning with your boy, Gordon Bombay. Where he misses the shot. I thought you were talking about that game.
No. I didn't think we needed to flash back to that like 13 times. Personally, that's just me.
I said it also doesn't make sense. You can't win or lose on a single shot in hockey when it comes down to a penalty shot.
And also, it was a penalty shot that only just kept the score tied.
Exactly.
So they went to overtime. It's not like, oh, he missed it, so we lost.
They did in the first, when the Ducks came out to the first game, it's Gordon's first time back to the rink in however many years, dickety 6 years. And he sees like there's Pee Wee first place banners for his old team, the Hawks, that go back like to 1925. And then there's one second place banner. And I was like, who's hanging Pee Wee hockey banners?
And who's hanging second place banners?
And who's hanging, well, like the Clippers probably. No, I don't. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
The fact that this 10-year-old missing a goal, which couldn't possibly have caused his team to lose the game, and that impacted the course of his entire life seems so strange to me.
Yeah, there was newspaper articles about it. Like,
dude,
it was like
I know Minnesota likes their hockey, but yeah, that seemed a bit far. All right, Jeff, what's your first scene?
No, I want Steve to go next.
All right, Steve, what's your first?
My favorite scene was Fulton Reed's first game when they're all warming up and then they bring Fulton out in the ice and Bombay dumps the box of pucks out there. And then clearly a body double who is really good at skating and can handle the stick well starts just bombing slap shots. And they're breaking the glass, they're bouncing into the crowd, and it scares the crap out of the other team. It was very much like Wild Thing, Ricky Vaughn in Major League, or Randy Johnson in real life baseball, just like a terrifying individual who is like unleashed and it scares the crap out of the other team, and they use that to perfection in that game. That was my favorite part.
I also like when there would be that shot with the puck spinning. It looked like the Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves arrow shot.
Arrow cam.
And people were just diving out of the way. I didn't think that happened in hockey either.
And the pucks were like destroying the glass.
Yeah. And the guy got hit in the chest. Again, I don't know anything about hockey, but doesn't it have to touch the net? Like if it hits the guy and he falls in the goal, I thought that was, I don't know. I thought it had to touch
that's later on though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like in general, just thinking about those shots with the Robin Hood shot. I don't know.
Offside. I think they're offsides. I don't know. I still don't understand the hockey offsides rule, so I don't know for sure. Dude, I think that Fulton Reed intimidation factor game, that's a top shelf coaching move from Gordon Bombay as a really pretty inexperienced coach. He was like, you can't skate and you aren't that great, but just go mine for these other 10-year-olds by just slapping the shit out of these pucks.
Yeah.
For like 10 minutes
dropping
of
all of them.
It's perfect.
How does the glass actually crack like that? What's the glass made of? I thought it was like plexiglass.
Yeah, I thought it was like Lexan or plexiglass.
It is. I mean, it'll break if like somebody gets checked into it pretty good. I mean, I can't imagine a 10-year-old slap shot will do much, but you know, two grown men potentially. I've seen a hockey, you know, glass. I would say shattered, but it's not like
crack,
it's not like in the movies. Yeah, right. It kind of cracks or like falls out or whatever.
That's what I'm here for. That's totally what I'm here for. I'm here for the fights, for the people getting hit in the mouth and losing teeth. Like, that's what I'm here for.
And well, don't forget, you're also here for if anyone gets injured, you can yell out, "He got ice on it" right away. So that'll help.
So that probably helps. Yeah, absolutely.
What's your first scene?
My first and only scene. I only had one scene that I liked. It was the what? I'm sorry. I gave it a 5. The training scene with the eggs and where he ties up the Jewish kid to the goal, like that's the part I like.
The hockey bar mitzvah where they just wailed on this kid in the goal, Goldberg, the goalie.
Right.
That's a great scene. That's a good call. I liked the. I mean, it wasn't a montage, so it finished lower on my list than it otherwise would have because I love a montage. But I love the like, dude. There's the sports movie cliches, man. You really could bingo pretty quickly on this one because it's like we have some weird training techniques. You just send the egg very gently.
Send it in
concentration, not strength.
Concentration, and then we're gonna tie the goalie to the goal and just wail on him. And we have trick plays. We have Statue of Liberty. We have the flying V. Dude, every sports movie.
The annexation of Puerto Rico. No, wait. That's Little Giants. Never mind. Yeah, so that was my only scene. All the other scenes tied for second place.
My second favorite scene is when Gordon Bombay goes to talk to Hans, the guy who owns the skate shop.
That guy's weird.
Dude, it was perfect. It was such a movie trope. He like sneaks in through the back door. The guy knows that he's coming, even though it's pitch dark. He's already getting skates ready for him. And he's like, he has an accent. And he's like, he's going to send him on his quest. It was freaking perfect.
Yeah. He had the picture of his dad.
Yeah.
And him when he was a little kid. Like, he knew how many goals he shot in a season.
198 goals, by the way.
198.
This is like there's like what, a 20 game season. So little Gordy Bombay was scoring 10 goals a game and was still the letdown of the season because he hit it off the post. Come on, Riley.
And then he retired from hockey because he was so heartbroken about that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it happened. I'm quitting.
I can't believe they were tracking stats in Pee Wee hockey in like 1973.
So I have no more. I'm out of scenes. Who else? Y'all got to go.
I appreciate that. Steve, you got any other scenes?
I liked the school scene where they quack at the principal and then we'll save this for, I guess, favorite quotes or whatever. But when Bombay is like, you said like, oh, we don't deserve to live. And he's like, I was being sarcastic. Do you know what that means? The kid's like, no. Like, I thought that was the funniest thing in the world as an 8-year-old.
Yeah, that was top shelf comedy back in the day. And I have a quote from that school scene as well. My third one is the final game, and it's a little cheaty to put that on there because the final game took like 16 minutes of this movie. But the whole thing is so unbelievably extra. They're playing the Hawks, who, just so you know, they're the bad team. They're dressed in all black. They freaking, dude, they look like a Dominican Little League team. They all look like they're like 16 playing against 10-year-olds.
I'm wondering why they're playing. Why? I thought since the Ducks like snuck in at the last second, like how a bracket works, they would play the Hawks like first, right? Not
One would
the
think.
Championship.
Yeah,
just wondering.
Some kind of lottery. I don't know, but
let's give them an out on this.
But that last game, dude, they do the flying V, they do the trick plays, they do the penalty shot. Fulton freaking bodies that kid. He's like, "I'm on, coach," and then he throws the kid into the bleachers, and he's like, "I'm off, coach," and he gets ejected. It's just a bunch of great stuff happening.
I have questions.
Not great,
about
like
the
objectively great, but great, like within the confines of a kid's sports movie. When I was 10, great.
Yeah. The flying V. Can you check people that don't have the puck?
Yeah, I think they were definitely offsides on the flying V for sure. Like the puck is supposed to cross first, and I think the puck was behind the blue line before the head of the flying V was. And then just checking random people. I don't think that was a wise plan. But hey, they're like Ducks. How do we just shoehorn this in there?
I like how the flying V is about as legal as Daniel LaRusso's crane kick, which is not at all.
You can't crane kick?
No, you can't kick to the face. That's like one of the only rules of karate fighting in the tournament.
Yeah, but you just get a warning. Just like he hurt Daniel's leg, you're not supposed to do that.
Well, they didn't give him a
either.
warning. They gave him the trophy for kicking the guy in the face.
True that.
I'm glad I wasn't the one to bring up Karate Kid, because I have a list here of like 6 things that say like essentially this is Karate Kid on ice. Hans is Mr. Miyagi.
Perfect.
The older weird guy, that takes a little bit too much of an interest in a younger
Way too
person.
much.
Unorthodox training with like the eggs and the football. The Hawks are clearly Cobra Kai, where you're like, it's not worth winning if you can't win big. Like, who teaches a 10-year-old that? Riley
Sweep the
is
leg.
Definitely John Kreese.
He's definitely Kreese.
Yeah, and then I want Banks out of this game is the sweep the leg moment. So
It's
like
absolutely-
this is essentially Karate Kid.
Yeah, it's team sports Karate Kid, except Johnny Lawrence has to switch teams due to a zoning mishap.
Right, but Banks' dad is still wearing a Hawks jersey and sitting in the Hawks section during the championship. Like, what are we doing here?
What a turd.
What a cake eater.
Oh man, that was awesome. Dude, as long as we're talking about the final game, I want to say that Gordon Bombay's vaunted triple deke move is like the 7-minute abs of hockey moves, as far as I'm concerned.
What about 6 minutes?
That's
can
the
work
move
on
that's supposed to
6
take him to the pros. What about when the guy comes up with the quadruple deke? He's out. He's going to be retired.
Can no longer milk that cow. You guys are just totally talking me into loving this movie. All right, who else has best?
The only other scene that I want to mention, and it just as an honorable mention, is the shopping spree, the Good Vibrations.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch song.
Oh, yeah.
The Marky Mark, Good Vibrations, shopping. Dude, this soundtrack goes real hard. It's fantastic.
It do go hard.
It do go hard. This soundtrack slaps. Shake 'em down, freaking Steve Van Zandt. Good Vibrations, Marky Mark. Accentuate the Positive, Dr. John. 2 Queen songs. Just some good stuff.
The outfield song to end this was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got a little bump for me just on the basis of the soundtrack.
I'm leaving it at a 5.
Yeah, that's fine. If you're not a music appreciator, that's on you. Let's go to quotes. Jeff, you got a quote?
Yeah, I got plenty of quotes
All right.
that you're putting words in my mouth. My first one is after Carp gets knocked down, and Gordon's like, "How many fingers am I holding up?" And like, he wouldn't know that anyway. Dude, I can. That's like the only line I remembered from this whole movie going into it. I mean, I remember a bunch of it after I watched it, but like, that's the line. Of course, they do that in Little Giants. They do the same. They do it all over kids' sports movies. But I totally remember how many fingers am I holding up and him not knowing.
Yep. Steve, what's your quote? You got a quote?
I have a few. Like I'm thinking of the ones that like I would say as a kid.
Right.
And like the one that still comes back to me is, would you do my job? And it's like the 10-year-old kid that is like a trained assassin who just took out his best friend who happened to live on the wrong side of a town line. And like one kid is like genuinely concerned for his friend's well-being, and the other one is just pure evil. He did his job. He swept the leg. He's got the, he's got the admiration of his pure evil coach. So that's the one that like my brother and I will, 30 years later, will still say to each other.
Dude, that kid for sure is right now interfering with somebody trying to vote.
But since we mentioned the other coach, I just want to say, identical.
Identical.
That's the guy from
My
cousin Vinny.
I love that dude.
Lane Smith. I love that guy.
Pour some out for my dead homie.
Yeah. That's a good
All
quote.
right, what's your first one, JT?
I do. While you're saying what would you do my job, my theory about kids movies is that you can't have kids that are supposed to be scary if they're like younger than 14. This was my whole thing about why the original Karate Kid was so much better than the Jackie Chan Karate Kid, because Will Smith's kid was too young to be scary in that movie. And when I was a kid and also as an adult, really believed that Johnny Lawrence could have kicked my ass.
He could probably still do it, yeah?
Yeah, he absolutely can still do it. But I'm saying, like, even when I'm 25 and in the movie he's 16, I'm like, that kid's like pretty ripped. I probably would just let him take Allie's soccer ball if he wanted it.
Allie with an I. Johnny Lawrence was a pretty big fella.
My first quote is from the school scene where they're writing on the chalkboard, "I will not quack at the principal."
The whole Bart Simpson thing. Yeah. That was great.
I went and looked at an article of the 355 best Bart Simpson chalkboard quotes after I watched that part of the movie. They're surprisingly not as good as you would think.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are topical.
Yeah,
and
they
that's
are.
part of the thing.
But I just love like that part of the movie that all the kids were quacking. They had to go right. I will not quack at the principal. Bombay was quacking at his boss as he got fired. I just thought there was some nice synergy there. Everyone quacking at authority figures, and then they all came back together and went to the playoffs.
What they do now is just send the kids home for a day where they can, I don't know, vape and play PlayStation all day.
They can quack on TikTok.
That explains the duck faces all the chicks are making in the back of my class while I'm lecturing.
Well, my kid's one, so he's reading all kind of books with animals in them. So I'm quacking all the damn time. I'm like, "What's the duck do?
Yeah.
Quack, quack."
Do you say like the cow says moo, or do you say the cow says? No,
No, I make the noises. He thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah, of course he does.
That's good parenting. I'm not reading the word moo. I'm just gonna moo at my kid.
You got to sell it.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said. So when Kat reads it, my wife, she's reading the books and she's like, and then the cow said moo, and he jumped over the fence and ran into the pirate, and the pirate said, "Watch out, R." And Cece's like, "What the hell is this?" Because I'm like jumping up, I'm holding my hand over, and then the pirate says R. Like I'm like getting into it.
Cece's like 2 out of 10 chimmy dogs. This sucks.
Yeah, I'll never watch this again.
All right, what's your next?
My
quote?
next one, Gordon Bombay, which, by the way, Gordon and Bombay, both very popular brands of gin.
Yeah.
When he gets pulled over by the police officer, he asks him to turn down the stereo. And he goes, "Sure, I guess it's a whittle noisy." And he goes, "A whittle?" And he was like, "I'm taking you down to the precinct. Breath, blood, or urine?" He goes, "No, thanks. I'm full." That was I think that line was the thing that kept me watching the movie and not going, "Nope, not watching this. JT can do it on his own." And that was right in the beginning.
Dude, he's driving his Corvette with the vanity plate that says "Just Win." He's got like 11 empty beers in the back seat. People really didn't worry too much about drinking and driving in the early 90s because this movie's PG.
You would be shocked and appalled at how people act nowadays. Younger people.
That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, it makes me want to stay off the road.
All right, Steve, what's your next quote? You got another one?
When Gordon is teaching his team to take the fall, when he's got them all chanting, "Take the fall, act hurt, get indignant," just like the perfect, like, have you been injured in an auto accident?
Yeah.
Like, just like skeezy lawyer. Like, that's the guy that is teaching the youth of America sportsmanship. Like, I love it. They were all chanting along. It was so good.
He was pushing that Greg Popovich 2000 Spurs. I'm just going to fall over. Get the foul.
Dude, when the kids chanted "Get indignant," I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. I can't believe he's got them chanting. The acting out afterwards is part of the chant. That's how important it is. That's classic.
Fantastic.
This movie is an hour and 46 minutes long, and I would like it to be a lot less long than that, but I don't want to take out that part. I'm going to have to find some other cuts.
We could find plenty. I'll
Yeah.
list them in just a few minutes.
Agreed. My next one comes from my main homie, Lane Smith, who says to Gordon Bombay, he was his coach, and now he's still coaching. In 30 years, he's not moved up at all. He's still coaching 10-year-olds. But he gets mad at Bombay, and he says, "You're not even a has-been. You're a never was." And when he says never was, he does the identical hand gesture.
Yeah, he does the hands. I saw it.
And it made me so happy.
Oh, yes, I saw it. I was also happy. You never was. He's got just the right amount of country in his accent.
He's also good at being like, "Hey, man, how's it going? It's great to see you." And then later on, he's like, "You're a never was." Like, he's real.
Right.
He's kind of friendly, but then he's also kind of evil, and I like that.
Yeah, so he's from the South.
All right, Jeff, any more quotes?
Yeah, I got one more. Averman, whatever. He throws it back to a movie we've already done, Necessary Roughness.
I know.
When he's imitating Rob Schneider, and he's like, "The Pete Meister, Mr. Rabble Rouser, passing the puck over to Jesse Rooney, the Enforcer. Oh, the Cotty Meister." Like that whole thing. I only put that in there because it's not as good as Rob Schneider, but I wanted to talk about it because we've already talked about Necessary Roughness.
Yeah, that was on my worst. I hated that shtick. I'm not blaming the kid because he's a kid, but either the writer whose name was Steve or the director whose name was Steve made a horrible choice and had him do Rob Schneider impersonations throughout this entire movie.
It must be something with the name Steve.
I don't know.
Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
I seriously, I only put it in there because of the thing. I didn't like the way he did it. He could have done it better.
I'm not coming down hard on a child actor, but I didn't like that choice, and I don't think it was his.
I'm coming down on Les Averman because he said he could skate when he tried to get the job, and then it turns out he couldn't skate. But they helped him get so good at skating that he led the hockey team in high school and got a chance to go to college on a hockey scholarship.
Are you talking about the actor?
The actual actor, yeah.
Nice, good for him.
What's the next one? Steve, what you got?
I liked when Bombay shows up to the rink for the first time and meets up with Coach Riley again. He's like, "Hey, great to see you." He's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm coaching." He's like, "Oh, you got a kid in the team or something?" Like, he was very confused why Gordon Bombay would be coaching while he himself has been coaching the same revolving door of 10-year-olds for 30 years and doesn't find that to be awkward in any capacity. But if Gordon were to do it, that would be weird.
Like, they never, I don't know, like, who could coach Little League?
How do you not move up
long?
either after 30 years, man? Like, you gotta move on or graduate to, like, middle schoolers or something. But like sticking with 10-year-olds, I don't know, kind of weird.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Definitely
super weird, but also because Lane Smith was one of my favorite characters. To skip ahead a little bit, but I just had that he was like an evil Pee Wee Bobby Knight, but even more angry. But like coaching Pee Wee hockey is not a full-time job. He has to have another job. What's the other job? What is this guy? What's his day job? Like, he's going to wear his leather jacket clearly with the collar popped up.
Yeah.
But did he never?
Pops his collar like 14 times in this movie.
Yeah. And that was his one like acting move. It was his one acting choice, just to like pop the collar again when he was stink eyeing Gordon. I just don't get like why would you? Whose life goal is it to be like, I'm going to be the Coach K of 10-year-old hockey?
I don't
Like, did the
that's what I'm
12-year-old team ever give him a shot? And he's like, no, I feel great where I am. I don't need to move up.
He's a big fish in a small pond. He's Nick Saban. I could still yell at these kids. I can't do that to the professionals. They just laugh at me. I'm glad you put him as your favorite character. I didn't like him. I think I wasn't supposed to.
I like Lane Smith. I'm not saying I like Coach Riley. He's kind of a cardboard cutout. Like, how can the villain be the grown up? Like, it's so weird.
Right.
But I just love that actor. But my last quote
fantastic.
is just because every time they said it, I liked it more and more. It's Cake Eater.
Cake Eater. You know what that's about?
I don't know.
I don't know what it's about. I'm guessing. I don't know if it's like French Revolution kind of let them eat cake and really uppity people. Because the kid he said it to was kind of well off, I think.
Well, they said it to everybody a whole bunch of times.
Eventually they did. And then I was like, well, maybe it's like, oh, he can have his cake and eat it too. Like, I was trying to figure out like what it's about.
In my world, it's not an insult to suggest that someone enjoys cake, because if someone said to me, Cake Eater, I'd be like, yeah, exactly. Is there cake? Is that what you're saying?
Taco eater. Yes. That also.
Agreed. Yes. Sign me up.
Not a lot of people say it.
Steve, do you have any Cake Eater theories?
I mean, cake's great, right?
Yeah.
Delicious.
So, like, if somebody wants cake, man, let them eat cake.
Cake or death?
That's it.
Cake or death?
Cake, we're out.
Cake, please. Well, we're
I
out
think
of
Banks
cake.
was pretty well off.
Yeah.
So I think it was a jab at his elitism. But I imagine other kids eat cake too. So I don't know.
That kid's so rich he eats cake. Let's all make fun of him for it. He's got his hair parted. He's not one of us.
So while we're talking about not being one of us, when they first meet Gordon Bombay and he pulls out onto the
The limo
ice
drives
in his
on the
limo,
ice.
And the kid says, "You don't get your vanilla booty out of here." I was like, "Dude, look around. Everybody else there is white. What are you? You're not. You're the odd man out." Like I'm with you.
No, there was,
it was
the
great
two.
how he
There's the
said
two like black brothers. I mean, they were siblings and then also obviously brothers. And then there was like a couple Hispanic kids, but yeah, it was all white kids.
Oh man, just I thought about Family Guy and the Gumble Brothers.
The Gumble brothers.
Just because they're brothers doesn't mean we can't learn from them.
I missed the news. Yeah, we all missed the news, Meg, but Huey Lewis needs time to create.
Oh man, poor Huey Lewis. He can't hear anything anymore. I just read an article about that. Did you hear about that?
No, that sucks.
No more touring. He can't hear. He's like, I can't hear, so I can't sing.
He needs to get a cochlear implant or something. We got to get Huey Lewis fixed up.
I didn't know what you were going to say there for a second. Because I say cochlear implant, and you went a completely different way. He's sticking stuff in his ear and smells like penis. All right, so best characters.
One of the Simpsons chalkboard quotes that Bart writes down was, "I will stop bragging about my 12-inch penis."
Oh man,
We got anybody have any more quotes, or are we moving on to characters?
I don't have.
I got one more quote.
Oh
that
shit!
is-
My bad.
It's the quote that I think everybody else is aware of, or that everybody remembers. And then, like, the more I thought about it, I realized it just makes absolutely no sense. But it's when Gordon was like, "I missed my, I hit the shot off the crossbar or whatever, and quarter of an inch the other way, and it would have been a goal." And Charlie is like very philosophical and says, like, "Yeah, but a quarter of an inch the other way, you would have missed completely." And like, in both of those situations, like whether it hits the post or it's outside, missed completely, neither one of those results in a goal. So like that's not actually an improvement.
You only want it to go one way.
Yeah, right. Like there's one solution here, and it's in the net, and every other outcome is not a goal. And so Charlie's pseudo philosophical musings was just made no sense whatsoever.
But Jeff has a 10-year-old, so he could probably tell you that a lot of the shit they say does not make sense.
No, that's what I was just about to say. Never take shower thoughts and philosophical advice from a 10-year-old. They are stupid.
Wait, hang on. Sorry, what'd you say? What? Yes, sometimes dogs are brown. I agree.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of times where I'm like, he'll say something to us and then leave the room. And I look at Kat and I'm like, I think he's smoking weed back there. He's like, what if DOG spelled cat? It's like, go do something else. Get away from me.
Take a lap.
Yeah, what?
All right, cool. Let's move on to characters. I already did my first. Lane Smith, evil, angry Bobby Knight for Pee Wee Hockey.
I had him down also because I didn't like him, and I think I was supposed to not like him.
Yeah.
So I thought that guy did a really good job playing it, so I marked him down as a character also.
Exactly. Who else you got, Jeff?
Gordon Bombay.
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez.
I was reading about how the original script was like kind of darker, and he was going to be he was playing in the minors or playing maybe professional hockey, and that's how it started off. And then he went back and they switched it up and did a Disneyer version of it, which is fine. But I don't know. I just like the way he handled a lot of stuff. I really hope Emilio ends up having a voice like his dad, but I don't see it happening.
No, I don't either.
Because it's all gravelly, his dad, and Emilio didn't have that. But he still, I thought, did a pretty good job. I liked Gordon Bombay.
I didn't have him on my list, but I do think that I don't think this movie would have happened if somebody else was in that role. I mean, he didn't do anything all that spectacular, but he just was like, I don't know, man. Emilio Estevez had a run. I was looking it up. I was like, what happened to that guy? Why didn't he? But it's like, dude, he did the Young Guns movies, and he did all the Mighty Ducks movies, and he did all the Brat Pack stuff, and the freaking Breakfast Club, like all of that shit.
Yeah, he was in the Brat Pack for a while.
And The Outsiders, and then he kind of like tailed off. I mean, he's still working, obviously. He's Emilio Estevez, but he was like huge for a minute there.
He's doing the Mighty Ducks thing on Disney Plus right now.
Yeah.
He's in that. Who's your first, Steve?
Fulton Reed.
Nice.
Seemed like
Nice.
Like the gentle giant, which is funny. Like, they portray him to be so tall, but then when they line him up on the ice against, like, across from the Hawks, he's like the fifth tallest person on either team. But he's just he seems genuine. He defends the Ducks when there's no need for him to do that, and picks on the Hawks. And then when one of the women on the hockey team gets checked or whatever, like you said earlier, JT, when Fulton just dumps him into the boards and says, like, all right, coach, I'm off. Like, he knew he was getting thrown out. He just felt like he had to defend the honor of his teammates. So I was like, yeah, like, this is a good dude who might not be able to skate and is all over the place, but his heart's in the right place and he's trying. He was probably, I think, my favorite. Plus, I liked what the guy ended up going on to do in future movies and shows. He was in he was Foggy in the Daredevil show on Netflix, which was phenomenal. So I liked. It's kind of funny. Like, he might even be the same height from Mighty Ducks that he is now as Foggy.
Dude, Fulton was a great character. He was such a pure soul. I loved that he was like this kid who loved hockey and like secretly played in the alley by himself because he didn't know how to skate. Dude, that's like some like Tale of Two Cities shit for an origin story. Like, he's just in the alleyway with the garbage and the cats, like hitting pucks against a wall because he can't skate in Minnesota.
Are there people that can't skate in Minnesota?
I don't know. I mean, the way they went after Pee Wee hockey in this town, I can't imagine a kid growing up not being able to skate.
don't know.
Why did he shoot out of the alleyway? But like you could shoot like into the alleyway or at a wall, but instead he shot out into oncoming traffic.
Yeah, that was
which
a
I
good
guess
call.
advances the plot. But probably a poor decision on his part. So I might dock him once for decision making.
I definitely dock him for that. I don't like that was right before the chase scene, right, where the guy like chased him through the construction. I don't like how they sped that up like it was a Benny Hill.
Benny Hills. Yeah, I know they sped up the
didn't
chase.
like
That
it.
was kind of weird. It was a strange move.
That was definitely weird.
My second character is Joshua Jackson, Charlie Conway.
Oh yeah.
He's the kind of lead kid in this movie. We talked about this when we did Hook last year. It's just hard to do a kids movie where there's an ensemble cast. It's hard to find a bunch of really good kid actors, especially when they have important parts in the movie. And I thought he was really good in this movie.
Yeah, I like Joshua Jackson, the actor.
I like him, the actor. He's good in this. He's good in D2. I don't remember anything beyond that. But he's good in Dawson's Creek. He's good in everything I've ever seen him in. But to be good at 10, he's crying in the diner when he's talking to his coach about dating his mom. I was like, holy shit, that's a strong move for a kid actor.
I can't cry on cue. Can you?
No. That's why I'm doing this stupid podcast and not making movies. That and my Taco Bell diet.
That and you can't skate.
I gotta grab a nose hair and yank it out just to even get the tears going.
That part, by the way, the Charlie Conway part, was offered to child Jake Gyllenhaal, who turned it down.
That was a good call. He went on to do way better things.
Yeah, he was like, are you kidding me? I just played Billy Crystal's kid in City Slickers. I'm not doing this stupid hockey movie.
Dude, he was in Cruel Intentions. He was in The Skulls.
Yeah.
Urban
Skulls,
Legend.
I
He was in a
forgot
bunch
about
of movies. I was trying to figure out all the stuff he was in.
Who else you got, Jeff?
That was it. I only had Gordon Bombay.
All right, cool. Steve, you got anybody else?
All the kids are dead to me.
No, I mean, I think I like Fulton. I liked Fulton. I thought Joshua Jackson did a pretty good job. I like the way that they specifically set him up to be the one to not take a fall, and that he, told his coach that he wasn't gonna go down that path. Is like, all right, this is his moment to, kind of become the hero or start down that path. So I thought they set him up well, and I thought he played the part pretty good.
You either got to become the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
I was born in the darkness. Been working on my Bane. It's gone from awful to just pretty
I was
bad.
gonna say that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Mine is shitty. Yours is just stinky, farty, smelly.
It's a huge improvement. My third one is another.
I like how you didn't put your hand in front of your face.
I got another child actor, Brandon Adams. He plays Jesse Hall, the cake eater kid.
Yeah.
But he's good, dude. He's funny. He's like angry. He's like mad at the coach a couple times. But I just think it's hard to be an actor, especially if you're a kid. And he was believable. And also, shout out, he's De Nunez in Sandlot, which we will definitely do next season in '93.
And the first thing I remember him from, Moonwalker. During the Smooth Criminal
He was a smooth
part,
criminal.
he's like standing he's dancing like Michael Jackson in the alley. That's where I remember him from.
Yeah, that's a credit that you and I were definitely both going to catch.
Yeah, my kid still loves that movie. Anybody else?
I got some stuff for writer-director. The writer, Stephen Brill, he directed and co-wrote Little Nicky, for which he got Razzie nominations for both directing and screenplay. I want to shout that out.
Big time. He did a lot of Adam Sandler stuff.
He did, yeah. He directed a lot of Adam Sandler stuff. Drill Bit Taylor,
Right.
Mr. Deeds, Wedding Singer.
The Do-Over, Sandy Wexler, Hubie Hollywood.
Right.
The straight-to-video ones. But he also did Heavyweights, which I almost did that synopsis in my joke in the beginning because that shit is almost like this too.
Dude, of course it is. But yeah, he wrote this movie. He doesn't have a lot of writing credits, although he does have a Razzie for Worst Director and a couple nominations for Screenwriter and Director. So I don't know. It's weird, man. I feel like it's funny, obviously, if you have like 6 credits and you have Razzies for 3 of them. But at the same time, it's so hard to be any kind of success in Hollywood. I'm not making fun of him because he's done way more than I would ever be able to do. But also, it is kind of funny.
It's definitely funny. That's the reason they give Razzies, because they're so bad.
Stephen Brill is the writer. Stephen Herrick is the director. He kind of got started by Critters, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He directed Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, which we did last year on this podcast, one of our first episodes. And then did like Mighty Ducks, Three Musketeers, 101 Dalmatians, Mr. Holland's Opus. So he's actually directed a lot of movies that I like.
Yeah, and he's still doing it. His last one was last year.
Yeah, his career's had a little bit more legs than the writer.
But
That's all I got for the best. Do you have anything else for the best?
no, I don't have anything else for the best.
All right, Steve.
Wait. Are we talking about different characters too? Because one of the characters was Jussie Smollett, and I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, do you want to put that in your best?
It's not just the best. I was just talking about the people. Now let's put him in the worst.
All right.
Let's put him in the worst.
All right, Steve, any more best?
I'm gonna say this movie was surprisingly progressive in a way that I wasn't expecting it to be. With regards to, like, the hockey team had people of color. There were men and women, boys and girls playing hockey. Like, for northern Minnesota in the early 90s, they even had the joke where, Emilio or Gordon Bombay comes into the classroom and he's like, "Hey guys," and the girl's like, "People." He's like, "Sorry, people."
Yeah.
Like there's few things that now is like, yeah, that makes sense, but 30 years ago for a kids movie seemed like fairly progressive. And then the whole Oreo line joke, that, man, like, I remember, like, as a kid hearing that and thinking back to it before I watched it again, I was like, that is not going to age well.
Yeah.
And then I watched it and it was like, it was the Hawks, it was the bad guys who said it. And then later on in the movie, Gordon and the kids on the quote unquote Oreo line, like, embraced it as part of who they were, and they embraced it. So I kind of thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are both great call outs, because the Oreo thing, when the Hawks said it, I was like, oh, I'm putting that on my not politically correct things to say to people anymore. And then later on, the Ducks bring it back. I was like, oh, that's cool. They brought it in, they made it their own thing, and they're like, they've reclaimed it, they've taken the power away.
Good call. I'm glad you called that out.
I don't know. We talk about it not a ton, but we talk about it every couple episodes, I feel like, or every couple months, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's important when you're a kid to see stuff like that. Like, hey, they're going to let girls play on the team. It's totally fine. Like, it's not even an issue that they're going to have girls play.
Nobody
with them.
cares.
Yeah. And when you see that as a kid, if you don't play hockey, you just go like, yeah, girls play hockey with boys. Why wouldn't they? Like, it doesn't even occur to you to, like, start building those biases and stereotypes.
Representation, like you're talking about, is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like that whole new Little Mermaid. Like, I'm reading articles where I'm like, holy crap, there's little girls that actually respond to this kind of stuff, because that they don't see that often. I think representation's a huge thing, and I'm glad they're doing more of it. But I think I'm pretty alone in my principles down here in southern Louisiana.
In rural southern Louisiana. Yeah, it's hugely important for kids to see people who look like them doing things that they didn't know that they could do.
Yeah, agreed. I'm glad you called it out, Steve. Good call.
Yeah, I'm glad one of us was paying attention, Steve. All right, let's go on to the. I don't have a lot of worst, honestly. I mean, this movie's super corny, but you know it going in, so I'm not gonna really beat up on it too hard. But a couple things I have. One thing that I caught is the NHL player that knew Gordon Bombay and was like, this guy ruled Pee Wee hockey. I get you a minor league tryout if you ever want one. And at the end of the movie, Gordon Bombay is leaving on a Greyhound bus to go to his minor league tryout. That NHL player is Basil McRae, who grew up in Canada, so would definitely not have played Pee Wee hockey against Gordon Bombay in Minnesota.
Well, wait, that's really close to northern Minnesota, is it not?
Well, Canada's big, though. Like, I think he grew up in Ontario.
Maybe he read the news articles and the thousands of publications written on that 10-year-old who missed the shot.
The media coverage over 10-year-old Gordon Bombay scoring 198 goals in his 20-game season.
How many minutes are in a hockey game?
60.
It's 3 periods, right?
3 20-minute periods.
But probably less for Pee Wee. It's probably like 10-minute
15-minute periods or 10-minute periods.
So he's scoring 20 goals in 10 minutes. In 10-minute period, 3 10-minute periods.
Yeah, or 10 goals a game, whatever. Yeah, but the point is he's scoring a lot.
That's a lot.
What else? Anybody else got some worst?
I marked down the high-speed chase through the construction site, but we already talked about the Benny Hill thing.
The Benny Hill segment.
Yeah, I also marked all of the hockey games. Hold on.
Mikey, check it out. Look, I'm going to make Lil Wayne's head bleed.
Why would they put it in the game? Of course they're going to put it in the game. They got to put it in the game. That's why you do it. I want to like hockey. I saw a promo while I was waiting to come record this for hockey. Oh, cool. I think I want to try to watch hockey. In southern Louisiana, they make it supremely difficult to watch hockey. You can only watch the nationally televised games. But I want to get into it, and I want to know like all the rules and stuff, because I know people that like hockey, and they're way into it. And it seems like it's a fast-paced game that I would probably like, but I don't know anything about it. And the whole time I was watching it, I was like, this game sucks. I don't know. I didn't like it.
No, it's bad hockey. It's not good. They don't skate well.
I think that's what
it's not good.
At. Yeah.
We have a good professional hockey team, and I've been to a couple games. Have you been to Predators games, Steve?
No, I haven't. And obviously, we both live here in Nashville. I have not, even though it's right there.
It's a great arena.
I used to live across the street from it, and couldn't make the trek apparently.
And we would get tickets pre-pandemic. My wife and I would get tickets once a year. Someone would give them to her, and I'd be like, "Sweet hockey!" And we'd go, and I would have a snack, and then I would have another snack, and then I would have another snack, and then that was middle of the second period. I was like, "I'm ready to leave whenever you are." Honestly,
I'm out of snacks. Let me go ahead and order Taco Bell for the ride home.
No, well, I like to get stadium nachos. People know that about me. Just to see how they are. And then in Bridgestone, obviously it's every time there's a timeout, TV timeout, someone's playing Wagon Wheel real loud from the band stage. But yeah, I mean, it's a good professional franchise, and I was still I don't understand what's going on. I don't know who any of these people are, but people are super into it, and I kind of wish that I knew what was happening, but I don't.
Maybe it's because I grew up watching basketball and football and baseball that I know the rules. It's hard for me to even pick up what they're doing.
There's two big rules to learn. One is icing, and the other one is offsides. And once you learn those two rules, the only other thing you need to know is put the puck in the net.
So offsides is, and I'm only gathering this from what you said when we were talking about the flying V, the puck has to cross before other players, or?
Yes. Okay. So, right. So the hockey rink is split into thirds.
Right.
And there is a blue line separating the middle third from the two end third. So as you're going towards the opponent's goal, the puck has to go across the blue line before you or one of your teammates goes across the blue line. So the puck has to cross first. So you can't just go camp next to the goalie and then have somebody, shoot it from the other end of the ice down to you and then you score. You have to be at least.
So everybody has to go down the court. Not the court, Jesus.
So the annexation of Puerto Rico would definitely not be legal.
No, you can't do that.
That's correct.
No. All right. So what's icing? This is what I'm gathering from NHL hits on the GameCube. When you hit it and nobody touches it, and it goes all the way down the rink and then passes the red line by the net.
That's correct. So essentially, let's say, first, so NHL hits, phenomenal game,
right?
Oh man, knock knock, who's there? A big painful body check.
Yeah, so it makes sense. The rule essentially is in place, so you couldn't just score a goal and then anytime you have the puck, just shoot at the other end of the ice.
Yeah.
So if you shoot it past, I think it's the center line all the way past the end line down by the goal, that's icing, and the puck comes all the way back down the ice into your end right by your own goal. Yeah.
And then they drop it for a face-off.
You go back. Yep. You go back to Canada. You apologize to your family for having disgraced them.
Sorry. So sorry. Cool. I just learned more about hockey. I'm going to try to watch hockey.
All right, I'm editing all that shit out because no one wants to hear us talk about hockey.
I definitely want to
rules.
hear it. The fact that I just learned something about hockey, I think more people need to learn about hockey.
Yeah, you're not wrong. The other thing I had on the worst is this movie set in Minnesota and nobody had a Minnesota accent. That's a great accent. No one even attempted it.
Do you do a Minnesota accent? Can I hear it?
I can't. No, dude, I'm terrible. I'm good with imitations. I'm terrible with accents.
I just pictured the red-haired lady that works in the office on Ferris Bueller. That's my Minnesota accent.
Yeah.
When I think about whatever that, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, that's pretty close. That upper Midwest.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. Nobody had a Minnesota accent.
Any other worst? Anybody else got anything?
Whoever wrote the screen grabs for the newspaper articles, I actually paused it on one of them, and I was I wonder if they actually wrote this. Whoever wrote it, it was written as if it was written by Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, just riddled with grammatical errors and typos. I literally wrote it down. I have my notes here.
Oh,
one of them,
awesome.
it was on their way to the finals, the Hawks knocked off the first Flames, and then in a close one at the arena, which is capitalized, they did just beat arch rival the Jets, which is one word, in a 2-1 thriller. Facing off against the strongly favored Hawks will be the completely unknown Ducks.
I love that because Jeff and I also, anytime they show magazine articles on screen, try to read them and see what they say. And I was like, hey, at least they wrote it, because sometimes they'll just take the first paragraph and just copy paste it all the way down.
all the way down.
I'm like, hey,
Or do that thing-
at least some PA actually typed out some shit, even if it had no grammar or like punctuation at all. What's your effects?
I know. I just had the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves style spinning puck.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And people diving out of the way. Do people dive out of the way of the puck? That's not a thing, right?
I mean, in professional hockey, you'll see people dive in the way, like into the way of pucks on slap shots, and like will break ankles or bones or get bruised because they're so painful. So I could see somebody that is deathly afraid of a puck as a 12 or 10-year-old diving out of the way of a puck. I could see it happening.
I do have one more hockey question. What is the puck made? Is it rubber? Is it hard plastic?
It's really hard, really. I think it's really
like real dense, like rubber.
Dense rubber. Yeah.
Okay.
It hurts.
Rubber. Yeah. I could see it hurting. I just didn't know what it was actually made of.
All right. Old tech alert. I got Reebok pumps.
I saw the Reebok pumps.
Charlie was wearing Reebok pumps during the Benny Hill chase scene. And I was like, holy shit, I had Reebok pumps probably in this exact same year because Shaq had them and he made a commercial ripping a rim down. And then I got them and I was 10 and I was at Biddy basketball and I was going, and they weighed like 11 pounds each and I couldn't jump any better than I already could, which was not good.
Yeah, I was going to say, I told Jake, I was like, when we were watching it, I was like, dude, those are Reebok pumps. You tie them. You still got to tie them. But when you pump it, it fills the whole area around your ankle with air. Oh, man, it just holds it really tight. It's really great. It helps for not turning your ankle. It makes you jump really. I don't know what it does. We're not spending $200.
I feel like I need to call my parents and apologize for making them buy me Reebok pumps because why did they do that? I must have been really, because my parents were not like, you get the newest, fanciest shoe. I must have been a real pain in the ass about it because typically they're like, your shoes are fine. We're not buying that.
Let me tell you, I wanted a pair of pumps. My parents said no. I was also on the 8th grade basketball team, and my parents got shoes from Payless. So everybody
like
else had
shoes?
Air Force. Yeah, I wanted Air Force Ones. My mom's like, these are just as good. It had a basket on the tongue, which was way too big and way too padded. It had a basketball and it said AF. She goes, that must stand for Air Force Ones. Well, everybody knew it didn't. So I get to, this is horrible. I can't even tell you this. I was like, what? Did you just say? They called me that for the whole season.
Kids can be cruel,
Kids are
man.
terrible.
Yeah, dude, that just made me stronger. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. But I'm saying, I too know what it feels like to not have the new hotness. Yeah. I don't have any other worst. I don't have old tech and political correctness. All I have was the Oreo. That's what I wrote down. But the fact, I never thought about the fact that they co-opted it themselves. So,
yeah, that was nice. I had some other political incorrectness. I didn't capture all of it because, I didn't feel like it. But a lot of the name calling in the movie, it wasn't that it's necessarily politically incorrect. It's just like you wouldn't call each other. Like the coach was like, you lazy bunch of idiots. And like, you want to be a bunch of losers. And he's like, moron. And like all the stuff that the adults were saying to the kids is like, I don't think you can say that stuff to kids anymore. Maybe you can, but you shouldn't.
I was going to say shouldn't. Yeah. They definitely could. And they definitely do. There are people out there.
And it was also like a little bit misogynistic and vaguely racist. A lot of stuff they were saying is like, it's just a lot of like the kids talking to the other kids and also the coaches yelling stuff at the kids. It's like, we probably should not do that anymore.
Yeah, I got no more worst.
All right. Steve, you got anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think we've skewered this movie pretty good, but lovingly, and while also quoting so much of it that I'm like talked myself into. It's now an 8.
Dude, that happens every episode to us. I'll watch a movie, I'll be tired and annoyed, and I will not think that great about it. And then when we're done talking about it, I'm like, that was a good movie. I am glad that we watched Dracula, which I'll never watch again, and which was terrible.
I am really glad we watched Captain Ron, said JT never.
The conversation, the episode about Captain Ron was so much more fun than the movie Captain Ron.
I'm going to go back and listen to that one now. Yeah. I'm not going to watch the movie before I listen to the episode, just a heads up.
But once we're done talking about it, you'll definitely want to watch it because Jeff feels strongly that it's the most brilliant piece of comedy since ever.
Is it Kurt Russell, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Kurt Russell.
Oh, God.
Staying clear of the water, bros.
Martin Sheen. It should be way better than it was.
Martin Short.
Martin Short, yeah, thank you. Not Ramon Estevez, Martin Sheen.
Ramon Estevez Sr., by the way.
Ramon Estevez
Senior.
Senior.
Since he's Hispanic.
All right, 5 questions. Is it okay for kids? What age and why? I'm going to guess yes.
Yeah, my 5-year-old watched it. She's been walking around calling people cake eater ever since.
Nice. That's a great insult for a 5-year-old. No one can get mad at that.
Yeah, go suck an egg.
Would this movie get made if it were pitched now? Yeah, they're making another one. They've made like a
Yeah,
jillion.
right now they're making. Yeah,
and they're working on
absolutely,
one now.
And it has to be. It's a TV show now.
Okay.
The one they're doing. So I would say it has to be a TV show.
Cool.
I guess it doesn't have to be, but it is.
All right. So our favorite question: who plays the lead if we remake this movie, or who plays any of the roles if we remake it? Who you got, Jeff?
All right. So because I watched it with Jake, and he's been watching Stranger Things because I'm a bad parent. He thinks we can recast the whole cast of Stranger Things could just play hockey. It's like, okay, buddy.
That sounds awesome.
And
really scary.
I got nothing else. Yeah, I got nothing else. So I went with the whole cast of Stranger Things will be the team. And then Gordon Bombay will be Taylor Lautner because he's the right age.
Yeah. He's got that hair. He's got the good hair.
He's got the good hair. And he looks kind of ethnic, you know what I'm saying? Like, do your peoples eat oatmeal? Yeah. So I picked Taylor Lautner, and then the whole team is the cast of Stranger Things.
We'll just skip straight. We'll remake just D2 or maybe even D3.
Perfect. Let's just call it D4 and call it a day.
Let's just call it D for done and not do it at all. Steve, do you want to recast any of this movie?
When you said Taylor Lautner, I was thinking of the who's the guy that plays Tim Riggins on Friday Night Lights? Taylor Kitsch. Taylor Kitsch is actually like, I don't think he ever played football. He's from Canada, and I think he played a lot of hockey. So I think he was also like an alcoholic in Friday Night Lights.
Nice.
The
So he
TV
could play
show,
that.
not the movie. So
Yeah.
I think he would be a fantastic drunken disaster that turns a hockey team around. Plus he's got, he has played hockey, so I bet he could skate like crazy.
When you said he's never played football before, all I can think of is this. JT always points this out. He's like, these are all theater nerds that are trying out for these movies, and now they have to play sports. And now, like, every time I watch a sports movie, that's all I can see. I'm just like, oh my God, this theater nerd is trying to throw that javelin, and he looks like...
Yeah, or like Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, show me the money. And he's a theater geek who's delightful at his job. Yeah,
I liked him.
Dude, Taylor Kitsch was also in John Carter, which I feel like is a movie that never got its real due.
There was like a lot of problems with that, right?
There were a lot of problems with that, but I think the problems were all around like the marketing. I actually thought the movie was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that one where he was like wearing a loincloth and he went to Mars?
I remember it. And was it a book too?
Yeah, it was.
Did it start out as a book? Yeah. I feel like I started reading that and never finished it. Who did you remake it with, JD?
Well, you know how I roll. I like to keep it in the family, so I want Gordon Bombay to be played by Joshua Jackson.
Oh,
And I don't know any 10-year-old actors, so I didn't even try to redo any of that.
So wait, is he going to be Gordon Bombay, or is he going to play the same part just now he's older?
I think that's really a producerial decision that's beyond my level. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I want the mentor, the Mr. Miyagi skate shop guy, to be played by Steve Buscemi.
Can he have crazy eyes like he does on Mr. Deeds?
I don't think he can not have crazy eyes. I think that's how his eyes are.
Dude, I love Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, me too.
Get out of here. He's my fave. Yeah, that's a good call. I like Joshua Jackson. I would take that.
I'm trying to think who would be a good Coach Riley. Who's a good angry Bobby Knight Pee Wee hockey coach guy?
Al Pacino, just screaming at people.
Dennis Leary. How about that?
Calling all the kids assholes. I could see it. Yeah, I'm with it.
All right. Can you still watch and enjoy this movie in 2022? I think for all of us, the answer is yes, maybe.
Dude, if you watch it with kids, you'll like it way more.
Your kids watch this. Is this a good movie for kids?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I started watching, I was like 20 minutes in, and they go, "Oh, you're watching it? I want to watch it." And I literally had to start it over. And when they got to the end, they were like, "That was pretty good." I was like, "That's because you're idiots." I gave it a 5, and they're like, "Oh, it's a 12." Like Jake's. It's just like after you watch Karate Kid, you're like freaking karate chopping everybody, or you watch Indiana Jones, you're digging holes in the backyard. He watched this and he was like, "I wish we had a hockey team." It's like, calm down.
Settle down. Those hockey pads cost a lot of money.
Plus, he just falls over on regular ground all the time.
Yeah, I was thinking that as I watched it because some of the movies that I loved as a kid, like if Goonies is still awesome. But some stuff like Hook, it's like, this was awesome when I was a kid. Now it's not so much.
But this is the thing. Stuff like Goonies has jokes and references for older people. This didn't have that many of those.
No.
So
It did have a blue balls joke.
They did. They did have one of those. I caught that. Well, dude, what's the next movie?
All right, so
Oh, damn.
sorry, what is it?
The Bodyguard.
Oh, The Bodyguard.
I'm so excited.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
I've never seen it.
Dude, you haven't seen it? Okay.
I've heard the soundtrack 1,000 times, but I've never seen the movie.
All right, so where can you watch this movie? It's Disney, obviously, so it's streaming on Disney Plus. I'm sure you can probably rent it from somewhere, but Disney Plus is the answer.
Right.
And next episode is the Bodyguard soundtrack.
Just the soundtrack, not the movie. We're not watching the movie. We're just going to talk about the soundtrack. Dude, I've never seen it. I'm excited. We'll see.
Steve, man, thanks so much for sitting in with us.
Yeah, dude. Hey, you should have shouted out some stuff about something for you. Do you have anything?
If people want to know more about what you're up to, where should they go?
I run a company called Nerd Fitness, which is exactly what it sounds like. I help nerds get in shape. So I take, my favorite comic books and superheroes and video games, and then use those things to help people eat better, learn how to exercise the right way, and put all that stuff together. So nerdfitness.com. And I'm on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere at Steve Kamb, SteveKamb.
Yeah, and
Nice.
it's a super cool community that you guys have built. It's really impressive. And like I said, I've been reading the articles for a long time because I just love that type of stuff.
That's good stuff.
Awesome. All right, Steve, thank you for coming to talk to us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. It was awesome having you. I'm glad you were here.
Next episode, The Bodyguard.
Vaya con Dios.
Cake
you
eaters.
cake eater.
Thanks for listening to Movie Life Crisis. Please subscribe, rate, and review. And remember, don't drive angry.